Morning here in Camp Massatators, and oh boy, yesterday was a day. You know, I've just been editing the video from yesterday, and it didn't look all that bad. It looks like we were just, going along like usual, but it was basically the entire day. Once we hit Lock 6, it was waves occasionally like getting big enough that they splashed over the front, during our rolling over, and just unrelenting wind. I mean, it felt like we were paddling as hard as we could all day and barely crawling. The 10 miles between the two locks was just really discouraging.
Per the weather, the winds are going southeast or so today. So at the very least, it should not be a direct headwind. And we're looking forward to a much more pleasant day of paddling.
Unfortunately, it looks like the smoke was not cleared out. I was kind of hoping those severe thunderstorms might pass through and knock it down a little bit. Oh, look at that! Some mystery individual tied our boat up with a bowline. I wonder who that could be. Not her. Seriously, not her at all. That's your new thing. You're Blondie, you can't tie bowlines.
That's not true.
Yes!
Okay, well, let me tie the boat tonight then.
We tried that yesterday. Remember what happened? Another day in the lovely Canadian smoke cloud. At least we are pronouncing portage the correct way for being in a Canadian environment. And I finally prodded Blondie out of the bushes. That looks like it is quite probably poison oak. Still smoky, but on the plus side, it would be hard for today to suck as much as yesterday. Always look on the bright side, right? Oh, and this is both horrendous for the air quality and glorious for the water quality.
So glorious.
Also, good news on the front of maybe getting laundry and a shower again at some point. Taters actually changed clothes today, so I have hope that, maybe in the next week, 10 days, maybe. You might wonder what those earplugs are in my little toothbrush taco. You might think they're for snoring, and they are. However, they also do another use, which is you can put them up your nostrils if, say, your tent partner really sucks at splashing. I do find it kind of interesting that the smoke looks better through the camera lens, Jen. On video, it's like, well, that's not too bad. Then I look up from the camera and I'm like, oh, hope I don't have to breathe today. And one of the advantages of being on the river, a morning bathroom run. Blondie, I can't say the words. I think I need more coffee. Actually, no, I know I need more coffee. We're just gonna keep feeding Matt coffee until the words start coming out, okay? And not only do we have a little bit of a breeze going our way, but 4th of July, huh? Ooh, Jen, let's get 3 days of funnel cakes. Most of the time we've been sticking to the main channel, but every now and then there is an opportunity to do a side channel like this, which is a little nicer paddling. So if you've been wondering what we were picturing as far as like an ideal camp, that was pretty much what we were hoping for the last couple of days, but we haven't had any luck. And this is a glorious day so far, aside from the smoke. So all yesterday, every tug and barge we saw was parked at the side. Looks like they're back and moving today. Now, while it might look like Jen is currently driving us straight towards the tug and a slow, painful death, you see the buoys off to the left. They're actually making a turn, so we're out of the channel by a fair way. And if he keeps coming, presumably, Jen will run over that way so we don't die.
And finally, on day 27, we're actually jumping in the river. I think they got brain amoebas everywhere.
Oh no.
Woo!
And there goes Miss Taters. That felt so much better, except now Taters is making me return to the tyranny of pants. That both felt really good and makes me wish I was still in the water in my underwear versus, you know, paddling in sunglasses. So since I can't capture them on film because they keep moving, how big was that fish you just saw?
This big.
Nope.
Yeah, like this big and probably like this fat.
Yeah, there have been some huge fish in here. And here's the big water crossing for today. The next lock is at the mouth over there.
Lock 8, southbound canoe.
15 minutes.
What about 15 minutes out? Will we be able to go through the lock?
Roger that. Keep it coming. We'll get the chamber ready for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And here we are at lock 8. So based on the light, we think they're cycling the chamber. Seems to be blinking red when it's in progress, and then it'll open and give us a green eventually. This is the best clip today. And per the nice lady, we've got about a 9.5 foot drop here. And this one seems to operate significantly faster than the last couple. There is a lock employee who comes to physically watch while we are in the lock, seems to be a policy. But they seem to have a hard time hearing us due to the water noise up top. So we mostly just sit there and enjoy the show. It is 3:30 and sadly no more locks today, unless Taters can head a little faster and get us 31 miles. Then we can do the next lock.
We haven't seen any snakes since that one day further up north where we saw like 3 swimming across the river. And we just saw this guy crawling up onto the beach.
I'll be looking for turtle eggs. We're trying to eat my cheese.
Matt, watch out. Go up on the beach.
Why?
Because he's coming up into the boat. He's right there, look.
It has been really warm today, so our stretch brakes are now jumping the river brakes. And the river is surprisingly cold, actually. I think it's because that's lock 8 up there, and presumably it's pulling from the bottom of the river up above.
We are officially out of Minnesota. Aw, I liked Minnesota.
You said it was the stuff of nightmares.
Okay, that was just that first night.
Honey, you know I called you the stuff of nightmares, but that was just your foot. The rest of you...
Anyway, we are now on the border between Iowa and Wisconsin.
And here I'd just been thinking that the sky looked like it was clearing of smoke. Then I happened to turn around and see this. So yeah, apparently it may rain.
That's a big friendly cloud, right?
Yeah, real friendly. Yeah. So it's 6:50. We had been thinking we were going to paddle for another 2 hours or so. But if there's a front coming, which per the radar, it looks like there might be some heavier rain. Now we're thinking we're probably going to set up. We're already around 32 miles. We're just not exceeding our daily. Well, on one hand, the storm hasn't seemed to arrive, but on the other, we seem to be in kind of a busy area. There have been people camping all over the place, houseboats, yada yada. So basically the only reason we didn't stop is we couldn't find a decent camp spot. We found like something that could have worked in an emergency, but decided to keep going. And now it seems like every spot is taken by people. Plus side, we are going to get more miles today. Okay, and it looks like things worked out because we were able to find a reasonably quiet camp here with nobody right on top of us. And we've done about 35 miles, which was kind of what Jen was aiming for. Yes. So all it took for you to have a good day is to leave Minnesota, huh?
I am sad we're out of Minnesota, but I think this was about the perfect day on the river. A lot of the paddling was through really calm, quiet side channels, almost no traffic in the river.
What?
Through water clear enough and shallow enough you could look down and watch fish the whole time.
Jen, we've seen about 200 recreational boats
Just
today.
in the last hour.
No, all day.
Was really clear. We had a smooth ride through the lock with a happy lock employee who was loving her job. We went swimming twice. We saw a snake.
Was it?
And cut that.
Man, don't you hate it when the talent starts giving you editing advice?
The paddling was just dreamy.
Compared with yesterday, yes, anything would have been dreamy.
Was scintillating.
So much scintillation. The drinks were non-existent. The dinner is backpacker crap.
I never call your cooking crap.
You just say you're not eating nachos again. So there's one thing that Miss Sunshine erupting out of her posterior over there is not sharing about our camp. It is a freaking turtle graveyard. Seriously, if there is a zombie plague that shows up, we're gonna have like turtles crawling everywhere.
We're like a turtle nursery. I bet a lot of these turtles have gone off to live happy river life.
Except I see eggs there and I see animal predator poop right next to it.
Well, they don't all make it, Matt. So we finally got a nice beach camp. Easy to pull the boat up. Didn't have to stomp through any vegetation. Got a view of the river, very nice. We'll see if this storm materializes. Looks like it could or could not. There's still something coming towards us on the radar. Home sweet home for the night.